I absolutely love halloumi, but if you've only ever had it in the morning with your eggs, let's use it in a different way. So I'm going to make a tray bake with some gorgeous chicken thighs, nicely spiced up with some yogurt and lemon and other sort of spices in there. Veggies, of course, are going in, and I'm going to use the halloumi on the very, very top. So the first thing we need to do is to make our marinade for the chicken. And if you've got some time, I want about a tablespoonful of olive oil. Marinate your chicken for at least half an hour, longer if you can, in the fridge before you do it. That's just going to let these flavours really get into your chicken thighs. So I'm adding about half a cup of my natural yoghurt. And then the spices I'm going to use are paprika, cumin and coriander. And then about the juice of half a lemon. There we go. Okay. Good pinch of salt and some black pepper. Now give all that a good mix together, and just to save on the washing up, I'm doing it all in one pan. Give it a good mix until you see your ingredients nicely combined, and then pop in your chicken thighs. And you're just going to nicely coat them in the marinade. And the longer you can leave them to marinate, the better. Now, you could use chicken breasts, you could use chicken drumsticks here. I'm using the thigh because I think it's really flavoursome. And you know, from a nutritional perspective, actually it's got more iron and zinc than the breast does. Now we're going to get our vegetables ready. So I'm going to use some broccoli, and you could pop in whatever veggies you like in here. I love to use some broccoli, and I'm going to use some peas. So again, drizzle that with some extra virgin olive oil. I'm going to add some more spices. So I've got my garlic. I've got some more cumin and some dried oregano. And give that a nice toss with a pinch of salt. Olive oil actually is not just about cooking the broccoli really nicely, but it's actually going to help you to get flavour and to absorb more of those wonderful antioxidants that are present in broccoli. Broccoli is part of the cruciferous family of vegetables, and they're particularly good for gut health. There's some amazing research. In fact, the very first research trial I ever worked on as a new science graduate was one that looked at broccoli. And we were looking at the impact of those broccoli antioxidants on colon cancer with some very positive results. So there's a lot of research about why this is a pretty spectacular veggie to be including regularly in your diet. So we toss our broccoli around the chicken. We're going to add our green peas, and you could use fresh green peas if you like, but these are just frozen green peas that I've defrosted. Toss that into the tray. Then I'm going to take a lemon, cut it into quarters, and pop those around the tray too, because when that lemon roasts up really, really nicely, it's delicious to then squeeze over the final dish. And then to top, I'm going to use my halloumi. So open up your pack, and we're just going to cut it into slices. It's a lovely, firm and fairly salty cheese, but so delicious. Used a lot in Mediterranean, obviously a lot of Greek and particular foods, but a lot of Mediterranean cuisine uses this type of cheese, and they use it in all sorts of different ways. So don't be limited by thinking you only have to grill it and have it with your eggs in the morning. And I'm just going to spread that halloumi around. Perfect, and that is ready to go into our oven. And it's going to take about half an hour to cook. Quite a hot oven, so I've got my oven at about 200, and we'll come back when this is ready. So this is looking gorgeous now. You can see the halloumi is just nicely browned up. I'll finish it with just a touch of parsley for some fresh green, and then serve. Make sure you put that wedge of that roasted lemon onto each plate, because that just adds that final citrusy zest. And that is a one-pot meal. That's why I love a tray bake.